Hi everyone, my name is Vasily Vegas. I'm going to talk to you today about Apache Atlas. Now, since Apache Atlas has a few features in it, I'm going to go ahead and break this down and just talk about one. In particular, we're going to talk about Atlas tags. We're going to talk about the tags, the various components, and also point out an interesting feature that you get with Atlas, which is Lineage and Impact. So, let's start off by logging in. As you see, when you log into Apache Atlas, you'll get to this landing page. This landing page is essentially the business catalog. The business catalog allows you to search for data assets by either specifying the type or the tag that is associated with it, which we're going to be talking about today, or a query. So that'll be for another video, but let's get over to the tags column. As you can see here, I've already got some tags created. You can create a tag pretty easily by just clicking Create Tag, specifying a name for the tag, a brief description, and searching for other tags if you want to inherit attributes, or you can create your own attributes. Now, attributes are great because they allow you to specify as much detail, sub-level detail to a tag as you like. So you can make your tag-based policies in your governance strategy as strict or as lenient as you like, or as your use case demands. Now, simply providing an attribute name is all you have to do here, and then when you assign a tag, the user that's assigning it will be provided a value field where they can then specify the value. This can be anything. It can be string, boolean, short, int, any kind of data type, and you can name the attribute name whatever you like. This allows you to collect that information up front when the data asset's being tagged, and then this allows you to further break down data assets based on this information. To see an example of this, we can look at a tag that is used in pretty much every organization, and that'd be the PII tag. As you know, most businesses have PII information flowing through their pipelines daily, and there's pretty hefty penalties and fines if you're not managing the access to that PII information and have a track record of being able to track who's been accessing that information and whether they were granted or denied that privilege. Apache Atlas, through tagging, allows you to do this by applying ranger policies. As you can see here, PII also has an attribute associated with it called comment. So comment allows you to then enter any sort of comment about this data that you wish. If we wanted to be a little more strict, we could probably add another attribute called department or origin, which would then allow the user to specify the data asset's owner and the actual origin of the data. For example, say you submit a PII tagged data asset to the data lake, and that's from the finance department. So department would then be set equal to finance. Another person comes and sets it equal to HR. You can do this where you have several different groups or departments within an organization submitting data assets into the same data lake. This would allow you to then distill that information a bit further and be able to distinguish where the data asset came from. Now, looking at the types of data that have this PII tag associated with it, you can see that it's not just the entire data asset that has to be tagged always. For instance, if you have PII information in a database table, in a Hive table, you don't have to then restrict access to the entire table just because you have one column of PII. Here we've actually selected just a Hive column and added the PII tag to it. In this case, the cust key column. Why don't we go ahead and click on that? You can see here this Hive column called cust key comes from a table called orders. So going into orders, we can now see that in the properties area, orders has several columns. You can see who created it, what database it exists in, a lot of different descriptive properties here. And then you can take a look at the schema. In the schema area, what you'll find is for each individual column, you can see the owner, the type, comments that were added, and then on the side here, you have the ability to add tags by just hitting the plus sign and then selecting the tag that you wish to add from the drop-down here. And that's where that PII tag came from. Now, as you saw here when we first opened this table, another interesting feature that Atlas offers is the lineage and impact definitions. So, as you can see, green arrows show lineage. So this orders table actually came from a create external table SQL command. And we actually capture all of the processes that take place on the original data, which is this orders HDFS path here. And we can see the actual SQL query that was used to create the table that we're looking at. Now, if we move over to the left-hand side, you'll see that the arrows turn orange, indicating that this table has impact downstream and no lineage. This is a original file, and this table holds the truth. This table on the right, on the other hand, being that it had only green arrows pointing to it, showed lineage, which would tell you that its truth depends on what took place inside of this SQL command. Things could have changed. This gives you an easy way to easily access all of the changes that have taken place to a particular data asset in one single view frame, and to also understand how changes that you apply to a particular asset might affect things downstream. So I hope you enjoyed this brief introduction to tags and lineage. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I hope you take some time to watch the other videos about taxonomy and also the business catalog that'll be coming up. Thank you.